Sixth-generation warfare relies on a high-speed AI combat cloud to synchronize a pilot's actions with a swarm of autonomous drone escorts. These systems allow a single manned aircraft to coordinate complex strikes while remaining shielded by its robotic wingmen. But the Indian Air Force is currently managing a fleet in decline. As legacy platforms like the MiG-21 are permanently retired, the total number of operational fighter squadrons is dropping toward a critical shortage. Domestic production has not yet kept pace with these retirements. Indigenous projects, including the Tejas light combat aircraft and the stealth-focused AMCA, are navigating technical hurdles and production delays that have pushed back their full-scale deployment. This creates a dangerous capability gap. Without a new influx of technology, the Air Force lacks the sheer volume of aircraft and the advanced systems required to maintain air parity in the region. This vulnerability comes at a time when China is rapidly modernizing its own hangars. Beijing is already deploying fifth-generation stealth fighters along the border and is actively flight testing its next generation of prototypes. To the west, Pakistan is narrowing its own technology gap by procuring fifth-generation platforms from both Chinese and Turkish manufacturers. Buying more foreign jets off the shelf would offer a quick fix, but it carries a high price for sovereignty. Every imported aircraft comes with restricted source codes and a reliance on the original manufacturer for every software update and repair. To counter this regional pressure while maintaining its independence, India is looking for a way to move directly into the sixth-generation space through a collaborative partnership. For years, Europe's solution to this technological race was the FCAS program, a $100 billion venture between France and Germany. But that partnership has essentially stalled following a series of irreconcilable disagreements. The rift is driven by competing military needs. Germany requested a 50-50 industrial split to build a straightforward land-based interceptor. France, however, required an 80% controlling stake for a complex aircraft capable of launching from carriers and carrying nuclear deterrents. Paris also refused to share its most sensitive intellectual property. Companies like Dassault are highly protective of the proprietary trade secrets that give their aircraft a competitive edge on the global market. These conflicting requirements effectively broke the alliance. France now possesses the blueprints for a sixth-generation fighter, but lacks a partner with the budget to help bring it to flight. India is stepping into that financial vacuum. New Delhi provides the large-scale defense budget necessary to fund the expensive transition from design to physical prototype. Strategically, India's needs are a mirror image of France. To secure its interests in the Indian Ocean, the Indian Navy requires a modern, carrier-capable air wing that can operate far from the mainland. The two nations already have a successful working relationship. The Indian Air Force has already integrated French systems like the Rafale, proving that their military infrastructures are highly compatible. This compatibility is why India looked past other programs like the British-lent GCAP. Because GCAP lacks a dedicated naval variant, it didn't fit India's long-term maritime strategy. The collapse of the original European deal created an opening for India to enter a program built around its exact technical and naval requirements. India is using its role as a primary financier to negotiate for the high-level technology transfers that France previously denied to Germany. Decades ago, India partnered with France to master the FCAS engine's propulsion technology. Once understood, domestic production moved to India. The FCAS program repeats this. Co-developing the platform gives India direct access to sixth-generation source codes, engine schematics, and semiconductor designs. Owning this intellectual property gives India the blueprints to manufacture its own high-end hardware without external oversight or restricted access to the aircraft's brain. This partnership does not replace India's indigenous AMCA project. Instead, the two programs are intended to feed into one another. The advanced manufacturing techniques and raw engineering data extracted from the French partnership will provide the specific solutions needed to clear the bottlenecks currently slowing down the AMCA. By pursuing both paths, India ensures that its in-force will have the technological edge required to secure its borders against increasingly sophisticated regional rivals. There is also an economic shift in play. Co-developing this platform allows India to share in the export rights, selling sixth-generation military hardware to other nations for the first time. A localized disagreement in Europe inadvertently provided the specific technical blueprints India needs to manufacture its own defense systems and control its own future in the sky.